Probably crying her eyes out right now. But,
Gracie, that was for you.
oh, bless her heart. You know, hey, Bobby, thank you so much. Okay, before you get off, is there something very, like I asked somebody earlier, is there a special, a little funny thing that you remember about with Ralph? I'm sure there is, because Ralph was always in the middle of something, you know?
There's too many to remember. We were always joking. Whenever we were at rehearsal, I guess you could say sarcasm was every musician's forte in that band. People say that sarcasm is evil and has underlying, but for us it was always fun. We would always be cutting each other down somewhere or another, but we would always laugh about it. Well, we never got angry about it or anything like that. So there's
oh, you did, but the trouble with most people is they don't get over members of a band get over it quick. You know, argue about what key is it. Oh, I sing better. No, hell no, I want it in this key. Yeah, right.
Now that's one thing. Yeah, that's one thing that was said at the wake about once Mike learns it, that's the way it is.
Boy, Mike, we sure talk bad. Is he still in the house?
because he's not changing it. But
I learned it this way. This is the way I learned it.
This is the way I learned it, and that's the way it's going to be. So it's real hard to change Mike's mind, but even he will acknowledge that, you know what? Yeah, this other way does sound better. So there was always room for adjustment. You know?
Well, you know what? I remember one time watching the Andy Griffin show. You know, Barney was trying to sing, and obviously he couldn't sing in the show. And so they just a little slower, a little lower, to the point that you couldn't hear him. That's perfect.
Sing solo. I can't hear you.
Solo. Well, man, Bobby, thank you so much for that. I'm telling you, man, I almost felt like crying there myself, man. That's such a. Maybe you should put that on a CD somewhere.
Well, actually, I did record it. I have it on a home recording because our accordion player's wife and sister asked me if I would make a copy of it and send it to him. So I'm sure I have a copy at home somewhere.
Well, that sounds pretty good. Even the way you did it here, obviously we just need to cute it up a little bit, but it's a massive song, man. It is right there. It's right there. I mean, talk about appropriate. The guys in the place, everybody got it. I could see their hearts, you know, just you know. Well, thank you again so much, Bobby. We're going to play another song, Dime Por Qué, by the Saints and Sinners. Again, this is Ernie G on TejanoHitsRadio.com, and we're doing a tribute to Mr. Ralph Marron of the Saints and Sinners.
¿Por qué te alejas? Si aquel amor hoy vive en mí. Eres tú la pasión de mi vida, el rocío de las flores, mi único amor. Ven, mi amor, nuevamente a mi lado, a empezar nueva vida. Regrésame tu calor. De mi vida, el rocío de las flores, mi único amor. Ven, mi amor, nuevamente a mi lado, comenzar nueva vida. Regrésame tu calor.
I'm talking here, and put those headphones on, young man. There you go. There you go. Mr. Luis Ramirez is in the house. The Latin Express man. Express packages and all the stuff you may ship via Luis Ramirez. Say hi to the people, Luis.
Muy buenos días, tardes, no, todavía son días, ¿verdad?
No, a ver, it's
morning, still morning.
It's across the world. So you say buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Hello everybody. Glad to be here to be part of this morning. Me and Ralph go back to high school.
Man, high school.
We went to different high schools together.
See, okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's about the. I'm not stepping on that one. Okay.
But Ralph and I, like I said, we'll go back to high school. We also worked with different bands. We never worked with the same band, but you know, Ralph was Ralph.
Yeah,
Ralph was,
and why don't you tell people exactly that? You know, the Ralph that you knew. You know that a lot of people just see the man up there on the stage and that kind of stuff, and that you know, it's really we really need to express exactly what the Ralph that you know.
Yeah, well, see, like I said, we never were in the same band together, but we did play a lot together. In other words, we played. We're always debating, you start or I start, you know. And I was the type of person that it didn't make me any difference if I started. That meant I was going to get away from the place earlier or dance or find me a girl back then, you know, to dance with. But like I said, Ralph was Ralph. Ralph was cool, you know.
Could he be uncool too?
Actually, with me and Ralph never had crosswords because, like I said, we just kind of saw each other playing, or if I got invited to a party and they were playing, you know, I'd go say my hellos, and Ralph say, "Hey man, get up and do a song with us," and blah blah blah. And I did that every once in a while, but not very often because, you know, we were in different directions all the time. But like I said. I had a good experience knowing Ralph as a person, as a musician, and I wouldn't have a word that could say that Ralph was this or Ralph was that. Ralph was Ralph. Ralph was a nice guy, and you know he was a friend. You know, he was always you know, offering. You know, hey man, can I do this or can I do that? You know. And I appreciated that. When I had my group, we traveled a lot, you know, and we so you know that kind of I shied away from a lot of the local groups because we were on the road a lot. But needless to say, we still worked a lot in town. And like I say, my experience with Ralph was great. It will never, you know. I couldn't have anybody say anything negative about Ralph and me agree with him because my experience was totally different. Yeah. It would be, I would say, hey, this is not the Ralph I knew. And he's a great musician.
Oh, great musician for sure.
Great musician.
And he had a little deal that he with his head.
He had his little dancing, his little bobbing thing.
That's all right.
And he's done that since. I knew Ralph. Yeah. So, you know, Ralph was a gentleman, you know. Yeah. You know, like you said, we all have our little disagreements on stage or you know, or differences, but it was nothing that you wouldn't get over in a few minutes.
Yes, you're right.
And like I said,
and you're correct. You know, I get around musicians. I'm around musicians always, and I have a whole bunch of good friends that I call real serious musicians. You know, anybody that plays professionally has got to be considered a serious musician. You know, and I have never heard a real